Jo, tell us a bit about your approach to your campaign for this election.
I've always been a very hands-on campaigner, and for me it's always been about talking to people, raising their awareness, but having those face-to-face conversations to help people have a better understanding. And so my trade union campaigning was like that, and that's very much how the campaigning for this election has been, going out, talking to people. Leaflets and social media are great, they have a place, but it is always about engaging directly with a person and being in tune with what their concerns or their issues or what matters to them, and being able to listen to them. And you might have a difference of opinion, you might not always be able to agree or see eye to eye, but it's having an understanding of why they think or feel what they do. And for me that's fundamental to it. But I'm not going to stop doing that, and I have always said, regardless of the outcome of the election, I will still be there campaigning about the things that matter to people in our area.
Is there one key thing that really pops out in your mind after knocking on people's doors? Is there like a situation or an experience that really hit you hard?
There were lots and lots of heartbreaking stories that people were telling me on the doorstep. So while there's I met so many nice people, so many good people, so many people with such a lot of support for the Labour Party, at the same time there were some heartbreaking stories. And I used to cry all the time. I'm what Norfolk people would call a blah baby. So I know I get very emotional about things, but there were stories that were coming out on the doorstep, and you wonder how people can manage and how they don't get worn down by it all. And in matter of fact, today, walking around the town centre, there were two different groups of people with different reasons for their feelings, but they were both feeling the same. I stopped and spoke to a couple of young ladies with children in prams and said, "Are you going to vote?" And they said, "What's the point? Everybody hates us here." They were EU citizens. They said, "Nobody wants us here. What's the point in voting?" And so I spoke to them about the importance of voting, because their votes can make a difference, and they were raising their children in the UK, and they had a right to have their voice heard, but they felt really alienated and alone and picked on. But round the corner, I spoke to two other people who felt that they were being picked on. They were in receipt of benefits. They couldn't find work, and they were finding it very tough. And what they felt is that they were being blamed for everything. They were lazy, they were scroungers, and it wasn't the case. But as far as they were concerned, it was the fault of those that were coming over into our country from other EU countries, when in matter of fact both these separate groups of people were being blamed for things that they didn't have any control over. And if they had been able to get together and had that conversation, they might have seen that it was neither of their faults. It's the fault of those at the very top, bankers that caused a global economic crash, and they're the ones that are being made to pay the price for it. So that for me is really sad, and it's that sort of thing that I want to seek to make better, because we have to live in a community with two sets of people that are feeling very angry, very vulnerable, isolated, afraid. If it's not good for them, it's not going to be good for those around them, is it?
No, that's interesting. And so, it's been knocking on a lot of doors, and it's been speaking to a lot of people. So you've been here now for a couple of hours, and you've been in the room that's downstairs, and so how's it looking for you?
It's probably not looking as I would like it to look, and certainly not looking as it was reflected to me on the doorsteps with all those conversations I had. I love talking to people. It's, as I said earlier, it's fundamental to what I do, understanding people and understanding where they come from. And there was a lot of support for Labour on the doorsteps, and it was heartening to hear. We've been doing this for a little while now, and of course for some people the election's been going on for too long. For me, it's been going on for longer, but in a different way, and so when I was selected last year in July, I think it was July, it seems so long ago, and so I've been trying to get out and about and talk to people since then, and it's just giving people, trying to inspire people and give them faith to believe that their vote can make a difference, that their voice can be heard. And as I said, the voice that I heard on the doorstep isn't necessarily the one that I'm seeing reflected on the voting slips down there. But Labour can only win from this, and the reason is because at the last election we lost a huge amount of support because the candidate wasn't one that connected with our constituency. That's very different now. We have amazing, we've grown our membership, we've got a lot of new, energetic and enthusiastic members out there. We've got some amazing borough council candidates that can make a real difference to those people right on the front line. They're the ones that make decisions about the delivery of services and that type of thing. So we can build a Labour Party that will give people that faith and confidence to know that it can make a difference. And we can show people that we are here. A lot of my campaigning before has been under the umbrella of trade unions, the Trades Council, but people will now be connected with the Labour Party, and that campaigning will be based around the Labour Party values, things that Labour Party supporters have said to me are their concerns and issues. And I've had a lot of people that have come to me in need of help, and they haven't been able to access that help from those that I believe should have given it to them. And so when I go to offer support to those people, it will be taking the issues to whoever the MP is and holding them to account, and they know that I will be there because I won't just go back into a box after the election. They know I'll be there holding them to account, working to support people that don't feel that they've been supported so far. So the Labour Party can only win from this. I know that I'm the eternal optimist, but we can, and we will build a stronger, better constituency Labour Party that will give people the faith to know their vote can make a huge difference.